Okay, everybody, playlist is in the chat. And make sure you have a couple blankets. Oops. And maybe a cushion or a pillow, or you could always use those blankets to create a cushion for yourself to sit on. And good morning on this almost new moon tomorrow. Let's get going with the music before I space out and forget to do that. This little countdown here. 3, 2, 1, and play. And find yourself in a comfy seat, whatever that means to you. So you can be sitting cross-ankled, Sukhasana, or on your shins, rock pose. Always and forever using some props to help you out in your seat. Blankets underneath you, blanket between the heels and the sit bones. We want to really set ourselves up here. And I'm still reeling. I'm still like digesting and reeling off the energy of retreat this past weekend and all of the amazing releasing work that we were doing in the collective circle this weekend. So I would just love for us to continue with that energy this morning. I talked about this at retreat, but I've been thinking so much, just to reiterate it for folks here who were not at retreat, I've been thinking about the cycle, the wheel of the year, as the cycle of the breath, right? As one full inhale and exhale. And as we approach winter solstice, it really is the bottom of the exhale. So energetically, right, nature's wisdom is asking us to release. It's a very potent time to shed anything that needs to be shed, and create new space for blessings that are meant for you to come to you. Okay? So let's start in our seat and rub the hands together in front of the heart. You can soften the eyes down or close them all together. Begin to drop into your breath. Get some deep breaths in through the nose and deep breaths out through an O-shaped mouth. Go ahead and slow down the rubbing of the palms, pressing the hands into one another, Anjali, prayer mudra, bringing the edges of the thumbs to anchor into the heart center. And right away, bring your awareness all the way down the spine to the sit bones, anchoring the center of your seat, those sit bones, into the earth, and finding a gentle lift up through the spinal column to the crown of the head. Bringing your chin to a level place where the back of the neck can grow long. And we'll tune in here together with the Adi mantra, Om, O-N-G, Namo, Gurudev Namo. Bowing to the wisdom within us, bowing to the wisdom around us, the wisdom of nature. And making ourselves available, listening, paying attention, receiving all of this wisdom. We'll take a big breath in to begin, to the north. Om Namo Sip it in through an O-shaped mouth. Guru Dev Namo. To the east. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. To the south. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. To the west. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Take a big breath in, biggest breath of your morning, and hold it at the top. Finding a gentle squeeze from the base of the spine, squeezing the sit bones, chin level. Float that inward gaze up towards the brow point. Take in an extra sip of air through the O-shaped mouth. Feel that fullness, that fresh prana, that energy circulating through your whole being. And then exhale, give it back. Sat Nam. Let's keep the eyes closed, stay inward, drop the palms down onto the knees, and we're going to begin to make circles with the torso to the left. Inhale as the heart comes forward. Exhale as the spine rounds back. Just gently awakening through the spine this morning, into our bodies, into our breath. And perhaps you challenge yourself this morning to move slower, to feel into every spot along the way, every spot along the spine. Keeping that gentle squeeze of the sit bones as you softly swirl your energy. Go ahead and pause where you are in reverse directions of your circles. And I'm just gonna go with, like, I tried closing my shade, but this light will not stop coming in, so it's like a magical Instagram filter in here, but we're gonna go with it. Deeper breath. Sit bones rooted. Good, now make your circle smaller and smaller and smaller until you deliver yourself to center. Inhaling deep here, spine lifted. Exhale, release. Good, we're gonna bring the thumbs into the center of the palm so that the thumb pads touch down at the base, the mound of the pinky finger. Gluing the other four fingers together will squeeze those four fingers over the thumbs. We're going to really do some powerful clearing right here through the heart space and through the head space. We're going to begin this back stroke motion through the arms, hugging the front ribs into the spine. So drawing the front body into the back body, breathing in and out through an O-shaped mouth. Good. Feel free to close the eyes and move slow in the beginning if that feels right. And then you might, as you get into the rhythm with yourself, gradually pick up the pace. We're moving through any dense energy here in the heart, in the mind, and in the electromagnetic fields. And it's okay if you can't name this energy, right? Even if you can't think of like what you're releasing, maybe something comes to mind, lands in your consciousness, but if it doesn't, no worries. Just call in the intention, I am releasing what is ready to release. Good, squeeze the sit bones, squeeze those thumbs. Open heart, keep it going just a little bit longer. Might feel intense, it's supposed to. Bring the fists about 6 inches overhead with the elbows bent. Inhale deep and hold the breath in. Squeeze the root lock, squeeze your thumbs. Feel into your warrior strength. And exhale, let it go. Right on. Okay, let's meet in tabletop. Palms are nice and wide under, with the wrists right under the shoulders, the knees right under the hips. You can always make fists here if you have any wrist stuff going on this morning. And let's continue to warm up the spine here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, open the heart as the gaze lifts. And then exhale, round the spine, lifting belly, releasing the head. And keep it going.
Nice deep inhales and exhales. Your breath is audible in and out through the nose.
Finding that gentle squeeze of the sit bones. And then you're welcome to keep it slow, or the breath continues to be deep, but it gets a little bit shorter and sharper as the movement gets a little bit shorter and sharper. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, opening through the front of the heart. Exhale to round the spine, opening through the back of the heart. Inhale to a neutral spine. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Gluing all 10 finger pads into the earth, finding a little lift here through the heel of the hand so that there's less pressure on the wrists. You might pedal one foot and the other, maybe wag the tail side to side, just feeling into it right here. Going for a feeling rather than what it looks like. And then we'll slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. Take your time. Once you do arrive there, grabbing opposite elbows, soft bend in the knees, maybe a swing side to side. Allowing the head to relax, creating more space between each vertebra. And then come to center, release the arms. Slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Arriving in mountain pose, arms by the sides, palms face forward. And feel how your energy has perhaps shifted with just a little bit of intentional breath work and movement. Let's take a deep breath in together and a sigh out together. All right, everybody. We're gonna get into a set here, a Kriya. That is the Kriya to relax and release fear. And we can sort of include in that bubble of fear, like we're relaxing and releasing any dense emotion, right, that is living in the body and or in the mind. So any dense energy, we are facilitating right here the release, so that we can become a little bit clearer with ourselves and more aligned. All right, so we're gonna bring our feet hips width, and we're gonna slide the hands down towards the knees. So they'll come like just above the knees. Now you can have your hands wherever feels right. So if you need to slide them up the thighs a little bit more, do that for yourself. And then the palms can either be on top of the thighs or maybe behind the knees, if that works, Or maybe it's a little bit, I like to sort of hook the L shape of my hand around the side of my leg so that my thumbs are in front and my forefingers are in back. We're going to lengthen the spine as much as we can here. Squeeze the sit bones, draw the navel and the front ribs back into the spine. Shoulders soften down. And then we're inhaling to drop the belly, lift the tailbone and the crown of the head for a cow. And then exhale, round the spine for cat. So it's cat, cow right here. Closing the eyes. You might need to bend the knees a little bit. I know I do. Or you're welcome to keep the legs long and straight. Good. As you breathe here, begin to internally vibrate with the mantra Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. Sat Nam, a vibration of love and presence and truth. Right? And that's essentially what this set is doing, right? It's like the more we can align with that Sat Nam, anything that is not aligned with Sat Nam, not aligned with our hearts and truth, will naturally fall away. Good. Keep going. Keep breathing deep. Dropping the weight a little bit more back in the heels, staying rooted through the feet. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the face as much as possible. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine. Exhale, round. Slowly roll all the way up to stand, mountain pose. All right, we're gonna move right into the next exercise, which is hands on the hips. Little bend in the knees, squeezing the sit bones here. We're going to begin to make torso circles. So inhale as the chest comes forward, exhale as it comes back. I'm just moving in one direction first, doesn't matter which, we'll move in both. But we're inhaling as we come forward, exhale back. We're detoxifying the liver right here and the kidneys, which on an emotional level can hang on to anger and fear. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. Go ahead and pause wherever you are and reverse the direction of the circles. Still breathing in as you come forward, breathing out as you move back. Coming up to center, inhale deep, and exhale. And just know that it's quite natural for maybe some dizziness to come up during that exercise. And if dizziness is coming up, that's a sign that there's just more to detox in the liver and in the kidneys. All right, everybody, let's make our way down to a seat. You're welcome to prop up that seat. You can feel free to take a sip of water if you need it. And we'll get right into the next part of this Kriya. We're gonna come back into that same mudra with the thumbs into the palm, 4 fingers glued, and then the 4 fingers are squeezing the thumbs. This time though, we're gonna bring the hands right in front of the heart with the fists facing one another and a few inches of space between the fists. Elbows are directly out to the sides. Find the center of your seat, squeezing the sit bones, drawing the front ribs in towards the spine, chin is level. We're closing the eyes here and we'll move into spinal twists. Inhale to twist left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Good, keeping the connection to the root lock, to the navel lock, to the chin lock as you twist here. Integrity through the spine as we wring out anything that's ready to be wrung out.
Inhale to come to center. Squeeze, hold, take in another sip of air through the O-shaped mouth. Feel into your inner warrior. Exhale, release. Let's take a big breath in. And a sigh out. We're going to reach the arms up into a V with the palms sort of facing one another. The thumbs will be back. The four fingers are glued together. Straightening the arms as much as possible. Now, if this is not serving your shoulders and your arms today, you can always bend the elbows or keep the palms down and mentally visualize that your arms are up in that V. We're going to soften the shoulders down. Chin is level. We're breathing slow and deep here as we flap the pads of the four fingers in towards the center of the palm. So we're just tapping, 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 four fingers to the palm. Breathing deep. Keep it going. Drawing the front ribs in. Holding it together for yourself as things probably start to heat up. This is one of those exercises where at first you're like, oh yeah, cool, easy. And then you get about 30 seconds into it and you're like, oh, holy moly. Some heat might be building in the wrists and the forearms, all the way to the shoulders. We're moving dense energy in this space and allowing the energy to flow like water, to flow freely from the hands down the arms, the shoulders, from the heart all the way down into the lower triangle to the feet, the earth. As it starts to get more intense, breathe deeper. And do your best. If you need to slow down the movement, slow it down. But see if you can stay with it. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. Inhale, extend the four fingers up to the sky. Exhale, release everything down. Feel that energy flowing. All right, come back into the thumb, into the base of the pinky finger, four fingers squeezing the thumb. This time we're gonna bring the arms right by the sides, the elbows bent with the elbows right into the side ribs. So it's nice and snug. We're gonna be breathing again through that O-shaped mouth. The inhale will be right here. The exhale will be punch out to the side simultaneously with both arms. Inhale, exhale. Good. Moving fiercely, busting through some dense energy with love, right? It's coming from the heart. Like, thank you for your service. Thank you for your lessons. But now it's time for you to leave me. Thank you. I love you. Inhale, squeeze the elbows into the side ribs, squeeze the thumbs, hold. Exhale, powerfully punch it out to the sides. Amazing. Let's keep our hands in these fists and just bring them forward. So arms and fists are forward, level to the ground. Draw the shoulders back into their sockets. So there's a little sensation of the shoulder blades trying to squeeze together here. And we're just going to circle both of our wrists outward. So circling the hands rather outward from the wrist. So right hand is moving clockwise, left hand is moving counterclockwise. Closing the eyes, deep breathing. Come to center, deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Releasing those palms in the lap for a moment. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the feet to the earth right here. You can use the hands behind you to lean your weight forward, coming into a little frog squat. Malasana. Yeah, maybe a little rock side to side. Good, and then we'll bring the fingertips to the ground, a lift of the hips, lengthening the legs and rolling up to stand. And we're gonna find those fists again with the thumbs in. Same mudra as our twists. So bringing the fists towards one another, elbows out to the sides, feet are hips width. The toes can either be forward, especially if you have knee stuff, I would advise toes forward, or maybe turned out slightly. We're inhaling right here, and we're exhaling to squat down. Does not have to be all the way. It could be as far down as you're feeling this morning. And then inhale back up.
Exhale down. Good. Close the eyes if possible. Squeeze the root lock. Be with your breath. Be in your power right here, your strength. Inhale up. Exhale, release the arms. Maybe give your arms a little shake, your hands a shake. Maybe your legs need a little shake. Just taking a moment to thank our body for all the amazing things it can do. Let's come back down into our seat. We'll take Gyan Mudra. Thumb and index finger meet, other three fingers glue together. This is a mudra of focus, of harnessing the mind into the body, coming into presence. We'll bring the palms face up with that mudra on the knees, lengthening the arms out as much as you can, drawing the shoulders down the back, nice open heart. Eyes are closed. Maybe float that inward gaze up towards the third eye. And we'll begin Sitali right here. So if you can curl your tongue like a taco, go ahead and do so. If not, just breathing in through an O-shaped mouth. So we're breathing in through the mouth. And then closing the mouth and breathing out through the nose. In through the O-shaped mouth. Out through the nose. The Sitali pranayam is calming and cooling and grounding. Slowing down the breath even more. Down regulating. Perhaps even finding a micro, tiny pause, retention at the top of the inhale, bottom of the exhale. And taking a deep breath in and out. Let's stay in this meditative space. Eyes closed as we begin to move the arms now out and around into our energy bubble. We're just dancing here through the arms and through the upper body. Feeling into it. Allowing yourself to be moved. Awesome, everybody. Begin to close down your beautiful dance. Coming to center, hands on the thighs, inhaling and exhaling. We're coming into the last part of this set. We'll come to sit in rock pose, sitting on the heels. You're welcome to bring a blanket between the heels and the sit bones. And we're going to be forward folding right here. So we will be bowing down. Doesn't have to be all the way, although it can be if you feel like kissing your third eye on the ground. You can do that. Inhale down, exhale up to seated. So it's inhale and exhale. Now we're going to be counting. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on that breath out, we're going to hold the breath out and count 9, 10. And then we repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold that breath out. 9, 10. Good. Keep going.
Finish up your last round and come up to seated. Interlace the hands behind the back of the head, allowing the elbows to go wide. But gather the front ribs in towards the spine. Breathe slow and deep here. Inhale Sat, exhale Nam. Open-hearted warrior. Clarity in heart and clarity in mind. Find that third eye gaze. Take a deep breath in and hold. Expand the elbows. Take in an extra sip of air. And exhale, release the arms out and down. And you can either stay here seated, meditating, or come to lay down on your back for a moment in Shavasana. Feel free to take a blanket rolled under the knees or a blanket over you for grounding and or warmth. Allowing the whole back body here to receive the earth beneath it, to melt into it. And as we release here through the body, through the breath, as it begins to quiet down, we can receive and integrate the energy of our practice, allowing what's meant for us to seep into every cell in our body, every organ, seeping all the way down into our bones.
If you are able to stay in this Shavasana longer and you feel the call to, I invite you to stay. Otherwise, if it's time to move on, beginning to deepen the breath into the body. Maybe a little wiggle through the fingers and the toes. The arms can come by the ears. Good morning stretch, a circle of the wrists and the ankles. And in time, hugging the knees in towards the heart, a rock side to side. And then a rolling on over to whichever side is calling to you, fetal position. Gently pressing yourself up to a seat, coming full circle, just how we started, rubbing the palms together in front of the heart. And then sliding the hands into a prayer, thumbs into the heart center, sitting up nice and tall, thanking yourself for showing up this morning, for being here, for being available to do this work. And we'll end with one long sat and a short nam together to seal our practice, to seal this collective circle. Inhaling deep. Sat Nam. Taking a little bow down into yourself. Sat Nam.